Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Brandon. Welcome to Audio Addiction, where you can find latest album reviews. You can find our band interviews, and you can find live coverage of the concerts that we get. I will be trying to go to the 4 Years Strong show in Philly on Thursday, so I'm really excited for that one, as well as Self-Help. So if you are at either of those, definitely come say what's up. Really excited for both of those shows, respectively, and I hope to see you guys there. Also, I'll be posting an album review of Novelist's new record, Noir. I hope to have it out maybe the same day or around the same time as this one goes out, so definitely check it back with the channel for that one. And if you enjoy what you see, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Really does go a long way, and thank you guys for your support. So first of all, I'd like to give a shout out to Eddie from Acaedia. Thank you for passing me this EP off a little bit early, and I'm excited to review it and hope you like it as well. So without further ado, we're going to be talking about Acaedia's new record, Void. So, for those of you who are unfamiliar with this band, they are a progressive metalcore band based out of Miami, Florida, and they absolutely are an awesome band. I really kind of got stoked on it when I heard the singles that they had released, and I was pumped to hear that they're, working on an EP with Andrew Wade, which is one of my favorite producers, up there with like Chris Crummett and Max Green. I love both of those. I love all those producers just as much. So, and they have come out with a lot of my favorite records. But getting back to this band, we did an interview a couple months ago, or not even a couple months ago, longer than that, prior to them even conceptualizing Void. And I was really excited to finally get to listen to this album, give you my thoughts and opinions on it. I'm going to go through, each track by track, give you breakdowns on each one. I'm going to give some pros and cons, and then I'm going to finish it off with an overall rating. So the first track is called Divided. This is the single that they released. They released an awesome music video with this one, so if you haven't checked it, definitely go give it a listen. But it's one of my favorite tracks off the record, and I'm just going to go without saying a lot of these tracks are my favorites, so bear with me. But really liking the layered screams from Ray. I felt like, to me, it just added this level of intricacy to the track. Just from a vocal standpoint, I love the sort of harmonies between the sort of higher screams and the sort of lows to mid screams. I feel like they just add that sort of fullness that I was expecting in a track, and I'm curious how it would be played out live. Obviously, since I don't live in Florida, I don't know if I'll see it, but hopefully they'll make it up here sometime. But that really definitely got me, and was something that each time I listened through it, was something that I just noticeably picked up on. And to me, I feel like it's a huge part of this track, and a huge part of a lot of the tracks off this EP, so I felt like it was something to be mentioned. Another thing to me that I really enjoyed was the chorus. I feel like it's a main highlight just in general. I feel like it really soars, and Eddie's vocals just have this sort of uniqueness to it. I really couldn't kind of pinpoint who I would compare him to, which is great, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of you should give his song a listen, and just the whole band's song a listen. I felt like it was executed very well. The guitars definitely remind me of a mix between Wage War and Architects, and I'm liking the sort of softer bridge that plays into this track. I feel like it kind of gives a listener kind of a little bit of a reprieve from the track, which is great. I feel like the drums hold this track together very well, and there's a lot of tracks, I wouldn't say a lot of tracks, but there are certain tracks that highlight their drummer very well, in my opinion. And I really love the solo from Javi at around 2 minutes to 2 minutes and 12 seconds. I thought it was a really great little addition. I feel like they have that sort of metal-esque flavor that they add through a lot of these tracks, but just to add that cool little solo was really awesome. And there's a few other tracks that do that as well, but to me, I felt like this one was a good one. But there's one that's off the record that is just real good, so really like that. I feel like it's a great opener track, and just that last breakdown that when it hits is just so tough. Love it, guys. And we're gonna move it on to track number 2, which is Empty. This is another favorite of mine. Get used to me saying favorites because the EP is pretty much my favorite thing. But really enjoyed this one. It's definitely much faster and more in your face than the previous track, Divided. The guitar riffs on this record are just monstrous. I think Javi's such a great guitar writer, and for me, it was just something just nostalgic about it, just the way he writes stuff. This song definitely reminds me a lot of Fit for a King for sure. The drumming on this track's insane. I love the sort of blast beats that are sprinkled throughout the track and some of the great sort of fills that they have going on. I felt like it was a great kind of match to this track, being that it's a little bit faster paced and a bit more in your face. And it just fit with the whole aesthetic of what the song was going for. I love that little minor scale solo, probably my favorite solo off the record at the 1 minute and 50-second mark to the 2 minutes and 10-second mark, give or take. And that breakdown absolutely goes in on this track. Probably one of the best off the record for sure. And I would say that this one track in particular highlights a lot of Ray's screaming in the best way possible. I feel like it utilizes his whole kind of range, and I would say this track is primarily screams as opposed to a few other tracks later on. This one definitely is more of a Ray-centric track. So we're going to move into track number 3, which is Cold. As you guessed it, another favorite of mine. Really loving the sort of bouncy, genty vibes of this track. And I'm liking the balance between that sort of bouncy, sort of aggressiveness of the track with the sort of softer pre-choruses and choruses in this track. The chorus is definitely something that is a favorite of mine, and I also feel like it was a cool addition to have Ray do some screams on this part of the track. I feel like it was cool to kind of echo Eddie's cleans and what he was going for, and it's not utilized a lot. I feel like a lot of metalcore tracks. So in that regard, I really enjoy that. It has great structure, it has great flow to it, and the vocals are definitely balanced. There's enough screams and then there's enough cleans to kind of have a 50-50, and I really enjoy that from somebody who listens to a lot of music. Sometimes there are some tracks that are great, and to compare another band to them, Wage War, they do that very well, where they'll have some really great cleans and then they'll balance it out with some great screams. So definitely enjoy that, and also enjoyed the sort of ambientness throughout this track as well, towards the breakdown and towards the end of this track. And this one just has a lot of emotional attachment to it, which you can definitely tell and feel out in this one. So we'll move into track number 4, which is Erase. This is another favorite of mine. I want to apologize for the coughing. I guess I have some sort of cold, and it's definitely impeding my progress. But I really like the cool sort of atmospheric vocal intro from Eddie. I would say that this one combines a lot of the best things that I enjoyed from a lot of these other tracks that followed it. Just great atmosphericness and just adding new things to this track. It's heavy, it's groovy, it has great structure to it as well, and it's very balanced. Again, much like the previous track, Cold, I feel like the balance is definitely getting a lot stronger and just well structured, as I mentioned previously. Really liking Eddie's gritty style to his vocals. I know that this isn't the first song to use it, but I always love that sort of just extra that vocalists use, especially clean vocalists, in a lot of these tracks. I would love the chorus is definitely my favorite part in this track, and I feel like it has a lot to do with Javi's leads in the chorus. I feel like it definitely pulls everything together, and is something that I look forward in a lot of the sort of albums that I do reviews on. Now it's something that I just gravitate towards. So Javi, great job on this one. So we're going to move into the last one, which is Consumed, another favorite. If you could say that all of it is my favorite, that is the truth. Really like the harmonized cleans at the beginning and just the first verse of the track. They definitely saved the best for last, and is easily the best song off the record, in my opinion at least. The chorus soars, and just the highs add that sort of cherry on top on this track. I also am pretty sure that Ray does some cleans in the chorus of this track, which is amazing, and I feel like it adds another sort of layer to what he does. Obviously, he does really awesome screams, but to kind of have that sort of "We Came as Romans"-esque feeling to it, where there are cleans that the screamer does. Dave Stevens, obviously one of my favorite screamers, he does cleans as well. So I feel like, if they could do that, that would be really awesome as well. Bouncy, riffy, and just melodic, in my opinion. And I feel like the only downfall of this track is that it's missing a little bit of grit to it. It's missing screams, in my opinion. In certain parts, I feel like it could have been utilized a little bit better. But I would say that this one is definitely more of an Eddie centric track. There's a lot more cleans to it. I would say that most, if not the whole thing, is all clean. So I felt like that was a cool kind of switch up. Again, Ray had empty, so I feel like Eddie kind of had to have his own sort of clean track, which worked out well. So I feel like it's a great way to end off the record and end on a high note for sure. I feel like this album really took me for a ride, but in the best way possible. I would say that initially I wasn't super into it as much as I am elating to you now, but I feel like after the first couple listens, then it just kept getting better and better, and it will probably explain my rating on it, but I really feel like this one is just a grower just throughout. I felt like it was really fast paced, and it just felt really short. Obviously, 5 tracks isn't too long, and them being consisting around the 3-minute mark, it's not too long of a record, but nonetheless, really quality content from these guys, and I'm excited to see what the future has for them. Some pros and cons. Some pros, really enjoyed a lot of the harmonization, whether it be through screams and cleans. I feel like they were utilized in the best way possible. The guitar and the drumming, just the instrumentals in general, just have this sort of bouncy riffiness to it that you would attribute to a lot of sort of gent-esque bands, but also has that sort of metalcore flair to it as well, with tracks like Empty and I'd say even Erase a little bit, and even Divided, I would say. To me, it's just a super well-rounded record. You can tell that they put a lot of heart into it, and just each song has this sort of just great fullness to it, and it just sings, no pun intended. It was a great record from start to finish, and I really don't have anything bad to say about it, honestly. The only bad thing was about Consumed, and I feel like a lot of people can get over that without screams. But really solid stuff from these guys. If you do support them, make sure to pick it up. Their pre-orders are still going, but because of that hurricane that's supposedly going to hit Florida, I would definitely pick something up as soon as possible, preferably before that hurricane hits, because they probably won't be able to ship anything out after that. So definitely keeping my Florida friends in my thoughts for the rest of the week. But my overall rating for Acaedia's Void EP, I'm going to be giving it a 9.4 out of 10. I highly recommend this EP. They put a lot of heart into it, and like I mentioned, it shows. And just each song has that sort of just great attributes to it. Really great song structure. They really took a lot of time to process things. I feel like Andrew Wade had a really great hand in it as well, and that obviously shows in the type of work that he does, and just the albums that he's produced and stuff have been some of my favorites, as I mentioned previously in this review. So Andrew Wade, another good one, my friend. Really enjoyed that one. But you should definitely check out this band if you're a fan of like Architects, Fit for a King. Trying to think of other bands, kind of mind blanking, but if I can think of any more, definitely those sorts of bands kind of are reminiscent of that. Even a little bit of some gentler sort of bands. I feel like anything in that sort of space, I feel like a lot of people enjoy this record. And let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on it. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Do you think I rated it too high? Do you think I didn't rate it high enough? Which is like pretty much close to perfect for this record. But really excited for these guys. If you want to pick them up, if you want to support them, this is how they'll get bigger tours. This is how they'll get, bigger things in their lineup if they do well with this EP. So if you do support them, make sure to pick it up and make sure to support local music. So if you enjoyed my review, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that thumbs up. We got a lot of awesome stuff coming, and thank you just immensely, guys. I do say it a lot, but I honestly and truly mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys for the support. I get bands like Acaedia all the time, and to me, it just goes to show how much I'm loved and supported. So thank you guys so much for that, and we got a lot of awesome stuff coming up really soon that I'm excited to share with you. So my name is Brandon. We hope you got your fix. Also, we launched a new merch store. There will be a link in the description if you'd like to pick something up. I really don't like to, publicly talk about that, but I feel like if you want me to continue making content, you want me to continue doing stuff, the best way is to support me by, purchasing merch. And just, even if you can't do that, if you could share the channel, or just share a review or whatever, it really does mean a lot. And thank you guys so much for your support. So again, my name is Brandon. We hope you got your fix, and we'll be talking with you soon. Peace. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps out our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com, and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.